All right, so let's do a little recap of something we've talked about on the show, because there's another great example of this out here. There are two divisions of communism now and always. There always have been. It was this way in the Soviet Union. It was this way in China. It was this way in Cambodia. It's this way here in the United States of America. There are elite communists and there are street communists, and they are separate divisions. The street communists, you see them. It's the climate change nutters out there, the Black Lives Matter animals, the feminist animals, the abortion-loving animals, all those street animals out there who loot and murder and vandalize and yell and scream. But here's the thing. Nobody wants to be on the streets yelling and screaming and throwing poop at people. Not if they have the option of putting on a nice suit, fancy steak dinner, flying first class, 5-star hotels. The streets dream of making that transition one day into being elites, and the elites will allow it. They will allow it, except the elites have a rule. They have now and have always had a rule. You can make the transition, you can join their little club, but you are not allowed to make trouble for them, you see. You can join, but you're going to be a good little boy or a good little girl, and you're going to follow the rules, or you're going to be gone. Exhibit A, well, our latest exhibit, it's not Exhibit A, is David Hogg. David Hogg got really, really famous by pretending to be a school shooting survivor from Florida. He parlayed this into a Harvard education and now national prominence as a gun-grabbing street animal. This is what he's been doing with his time. And David Hogg decided he wanted to make the transition to 5-star hotels and steak dinners. So David Hogg is now vice chair of the DNC. But David Hogg doesn't watch I'm Right very clearly, or he would have learned you can't bring your street animal ways with you. You see, he went on TV and said this.
We're failing to meet the moment. A lot of our members of Congress are failing to meet the moment, frankly, and we need to make sure that they know that they're going to be held accountable, and we're going to have primary challenges in our safe seats where we have members of Congress who, when they're not being effective or they're not able to meet this moment, that they know that there's a young person who is willing to challenge them, and there are resources behind them.
5 minutes later.
Let me be unequivocal. No DNC officer should ever attempt to influence the outcome of a primary election, whether on behalf of an incumbent or a challenger. If you want to challenge incumbents, you're more than free to do that, but just not as an officer of the DNC, because our job is to be neutral arbiters. We can't be both the referee and also the player at the same time.
And now we find out the DNC is getting ready to replace David Hogg. They went and found some Indian woman. They're going to talk about it. They'll make it about DEI. But none of this is about handouts to Indians. This is about sending a street communist back to the streets because he made trouble for the elites. David Hogg is going to join the Jamal Bowmans of the world, the Cori Bushes of the world. He's going to join them in discovering that you are allowed to get off the streets and set the signs down and stop throwing the poop right up to the point you start making trouble for them, and then it's back to the gutter you go. See you, David. Which brings me to my final point here, Tim Walz. Tim Walz said the quiet part out loud.
I knew I was on the ticket, I would argue, because we did a lot of amazing progressive things in Minnesota that improved people's lives. But I also was on the ticket, quite honestly, because I could code talk to white guys watching football, fixing their truck, doing that I could put them at ease. I was the permission structure to say, look, you can do this and vote for this. And you look across those swing states, with the exception of Minnesota, we didn't get enough.
Pretty revealing how Democrats plot and think about you, right? That's how they think about you. You're just a white guy. You're just the this, you're just the that. Hey, let's grab this idiot Walz. I bet those white people are dumb enough. We'll put him in front of a pickup truck. That's how these people think, and they wonder why the American people have completely rejected them. I would thank you for coming to my YouTube channel, but I know how brilliant it is, and I know you love it here. So subscribe and watch. We're going to start really ramping things up and putting some funny stuff, some interesting stuff out there, some collaborations. Either way, my YouTube channel is officially the place to be. So stick around.